Good morning, afternoon, evening, or as I like to say, good morn-afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike, your goofy host here at Filmboy24, and it's time for Found Film number 85. Can you believe it? 85. That's like one more than 84. And we got one for you right here. It's Ektachrome 160 sound film, and you're going to see it. I've got to quit pointing. Next. That's right, we have sound film for you. You settle down. We have sound film. It's Ektachrome, Kodak Ektachrome 160 Type A film. Now, Kodak, in some occasions, back in the late 80s or 80s, 90s, they would put a sound stripe along the edge of your movie film. They actually put one on both edges. One was a balance stripe. They were both magnetic, and you could record audio right from your camera onto the film, just like you did with cassette tapes. But there's a picture that goes along with this. So it was really interesting in being able to bring these memories alive, or it is interesting when you have audio, because it adds another layer, a whole new dimension to some of these lost memories right here. I feel like Vanna White. Some of these lost memories, the old mem cart. I would like to do maybe a t-shirt. Save the mem carts. Maybe somebody standing on top of a landfill holding a memory cartridge like this. Because it's so important that we don't let these go to waste. We have to process them. What I consider found film is an old roll of film, in most cases Super 8, because it's in a light-proof case, and over the years it doesn't really get subjected to exposure, you know, flashing or something from light or sun. That was shot many, many, many years ago, like this one back in the 1700s. Not really. And was never processed for whatever reason. I don't know why. People get busy. They might have lost it. Maybe somebody passed away. For whatever reason, it was never processed. Dun, 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 dun. That's why I step in, rescue these memories, process them, and present them to you. No matter what they are, within reason. If I process a memory cartridge, you're going to see it, as long as it's not, well, really inappropriate. I've only had one in these several years that I've been doing this. This one here you will see, or you wouldn't be seeing this video right now. This cartridge, this actual cartridge, it has a little 8 on the front of it. It was donated to me by a viewer. We will call this viewer R.W. Antiques Daly City out of California. He sent me 25 cartridges in several states of exposure. I think 7 or 8 of them, not states geographically, but states and as far as the form. 7 or 8 of them were fully exposed. This was one of those fully exposed cartridges. The rest of them partially exposed or not at all. It's hard to tell until you shoot the rest of it or you just pull it and develop it. I don't know. We're going to figure that out as we go. He had them marked for himself. He put a little 8 on this. By the way, when you donate cartridges like this gentleman here did, my rule is that I will process them and show them, or I process them for free, but I actually own the rights to the cartridge once I get them. You're not going to get the film back. However, you're getting the service for free. I'll send you a digital copy of each and every one of the cartridges if you would like it. Otherwise, you can just watch it right here. So if you bought a camera, or if you're at a antique store or at a garage sale or a flea market, and you see a little memory cart, a little cartridge of film like this, and you look on the edge and you see film right there, and it might say exposed on it. There's a couple different things that can show right there. Let me show you a picture of what I'm talking about. One is exposed, meaning it's ready to be developed. One just shows film, and you really don't know how much has been exposed. And one may not show anything at all. And when it does that, it typically means the film got wound back into the cartridge after being fully exposed. That's usually what it is, 95% of the time. So if you have one of those and you want to get it processed, as long as you didn't shoot it, and believe me, I can tell when it was shot in modern day, so don't try to scam me, it's happened before. I'll do it for free, but I end up owning the rights to that cartridge, and I have the sole discretion whether or not to show it on my channel or not. So what I did is I processed this right here in-house. I used HC110. That's a Kodak formulation, but I use the Film Photography Projects version called FPP 110. The B formula, 31 water, 1 part concentrate, and I did it for 7 minutes. Let me take a breath. At about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I get so excited talking about this. Woo! You do have nasty little Remjet layer on all of this old Ektachrome 160 type A or G film, just like you did on Kodachrome and just like you do on modern day Vision stocks. That Remjet has to come off before you're able to see the photograph. It's a very dark black layer on the base of the film, and it's put there as an anti-halation layer so you don't get glare and whatnot when you're running your film through your camera's gate at 1824 frames per second. Anyway, I had to remove all that Remjet. It's kind of a pain. It's a pretty laborious process, but it's one that I simply love to do. Is that enough about that? This has an edge code on it. That's a code that Kodak put on the edge over by the perforations that gives us an exact indication of what year this particular roll of film was manufactured. This one had an edge code, and I write all my info right on the top, of an X, a plus, and an X, which tells us this roll was manufactured in 1991. Relatively new for what we usually do on this channel. I've done film from the 50s all the way up to the 2000s. This one's 1991. I'm going to probably say it was shot sometime around there, 91, 92. Typically people would buy a roll of film and they would shoot it. That's just the way it was. They would have an event or they'd have something they wanted to do, or they'd buy 2 or 3 rolls of film and go shoot them. So that's what I'm going to say. I don't know why it was never processed. Again, like I said earlier, but it has been now. And are you ready? It is a sound film. You know what? I'll just wait. Here it is. There is your Ektachrome 160 Type A sound film. Lost, now found memory. We have a bunch of young people in a house, enjoying some conversation. Now, sadly, the audio really didn't come out very good. I mean, maybe we could isolate it somehow from the insane camera noise. It sounds very, it's almost as if the people are too distant from the camera. Now, I don't know if that just comes from a cheapo mic, and most cameras just had a microphone, a little microphone on top of the camera. Some of them would telescope out. Handheld, I believe if the people were hand holding, which you didn't see any of it, that you would hear them much, much better than you did. So like I said, there's a ton of camera noise, so it's very difficult to make out what most of the people are saying. But obviously what we have is a bunch of young people gathered in a house or somewhere indoors, just talking, having a good time. I scanned this film at 24 frames per second, or should I say rendered it at 24 frames per second. I tried 18, which was the norm back then, says Norm. But this one just didn't seem right at 18 frames per second. If you think that looks too sped up, or the voices, if you can hear them, sound too sped up, let me know. I think it's 24 frames per second, which kind of tells me that maybe the film shooter had a little bit of knowledge on what they were doing. The film isn't terrible. A lot of it is zoomed in and it's kind of busy, kind of a lot of movement. But it almost kind of seems like this may have been a film student, maybe, or something like that. When I tried it at 18 frames per second and I listened to the audio, the voices kind of, when you could hear them, they sounded slow like this. So they just sounded a little too abnormal to me. So we bumped it up to 24, and I think that's our sweet spot. As always, if you recognize anybody in that film or any of my found films, I mean, there's 85 of them now. There's actually more than that, but that we've documented in this series. Then leave a comment or contact those people. If you recognize them or know them, contact them. Bring them on over. I would love to get the film to them. My goal is to get these memories out there for people to enjoy, kind of relive some of their own memories vicariously through others. But honestly, it would be fantastic to get these back to their rightful owners. That's, I mean, I guess the end goal. That's what I'd love to see. I've done it once, way back, about 4 years ago on my channel. I got the lady live on a video. We talked to her. So I cross my fingers and cross my cringers that one of these days we'll be able to do it again. I think we're getting close with Joey on the Cameraman Mike's sound film box set. Keeping those cringers crossed, and we'll find out. If you enjoyed this little jaunt down memory lane, can you do me a solid? Do the young kids say solid anymore? Just hit that, the little thumbs up button thingy-majig. And if you think that you want to become part of the family and you don't want to miss any of these videos, these found films, or any of the videos that I put out, I've been doing a lot of found film lately because I have so many of them to get through. Hundreds that I still need to unearth or develop. So I have a bunch to get through, so I want to put as many out as I can and get these out into the wild so we can appreciate them. If you want to become a member of the channel and support what I do here, please hit the join button. I have some fantabulous members right now that are supporting everything that happens here at FilmBoy24. And I greatly appreciate them. I've done a 1 or 2 videos, or one video and a post and emojis for members only stuff. I do have some more members only stuff in the pipeline. So consider it if you want to, contribute a tad. I like you either way. So, and until the very next time that I see all of your beautiful faces. There it is. That's the one. Ow. I'll see all of you on the very next go around.